Hi everybody, thank you for coming back to my channel to watch this next video. This is a Q&A. If you remember, I asked everybody on Twitter, I did a Twitter poll, everybody wanted the Q&A. So yeah, I'm going to record a Q&A now about all your questions that you've asked me about my move to Australia. Before I get into this really quickly, I do just want to say to everyone, at the time of recording this, it's like the 26th of January. It's actually Australia Day today, or Australia Day. I think it's pretty apt just to mention really quickly, for those who didn't see or didn't hear, I don't know how you wouldn't have, but um, on Friday, the 20th of January, uh, some crazy lunatic decided to get into a car and lead police on a chase through Melbourne, drove into the CBD, and unfortunately took a lot of lives, 5 lives to be exact, and injured a lot of people. Um, so I want to offer my condolences to the people that were there. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, I was there, standing in the street, in the path of the car on Burke Street, and I was very kindly pulled out of the way with about 2 seconds to spare by a stranger who I've never seen before, and I haven't seen her since, and I'm sure she doesn't know who I am or watch these videos, but on the off chance, uh, she'd know who she was. And thank you very much for that, because that stranger saved my life. Other people weren't so lucky, and I did see some of the injured and some of the dead, and I'd just like to offer my condolences to the people who were there, who saw, who maybe lost somebody that was, there that day, or who just feels really sad by the news, whether you are connected to it or not. The city is recovering, and it's been really, really tough, but people are amazing at times like this, and I think it's nice to see the spirit of the people here in my adopted hometown pulling together to sort of, basically stick a massive fuck you up to the guy that's responsible for this, and he's been taken alive and he's been charged, so he's going to pay for what he did. But I just wanted to say that because I'm very lucky to be here. I'm very lucky to be recording this video. I'm very lucky that I can still continue on with my life. I don't know why I was so lucky to have someone pull me out of the way, but I was. And for that, I'm very, very grateful. So with that being said, the sad part of Australia is obviously what I've just described, but that's a rare case that could happen anywhere. So moving on to the questions, I'm going to start with our Ask A to the K channel on Dixord in SSL community. Come join us if you haven't already. It's fucking amazing. So the first question says, I'll start from Mr. President. And he says, where in the UK are you from? My response to that is, fuck you. I'm not from the UK. I'm from the Republic of Ireland, and we've been free for 101 years. So that's the answer to that. This is one that's kind of common. Bullet Memes asks, do you hate Australia's internet cap? I do, but it doesn't really affect me too much, because, I mean, for what I use the internet for, I don't game. I don't download a lot of, movies or anything like that. So it doesn't, sorry, excuse me, movies. Um, and so it doesn't really affect me too much. I have gotten my particular plan that I'm on here, is, I think it's 100 gigs a month. I did get a warning in January to say that I had gotten halfway through it, which is 50 gigs. But I mean, my plan renewed yesterday, which was the 25th, and I got that email on like the 20th or something. So it hasn't affected me yet. If it does down the line, you'll probably hear me complain about it. Some dude 132 says, good luck in Australia. Thanks, mate. I've already been here 3 months, but thank you anyway. What motivated you to go there? In short, not that I can ever fucking give short answers, but basically just my career had sort of stagnated back in Ireland. The housing market had gone absolutely crazy. I couldn't rent. I couldn't get a mortgage because I'm single. And even though I was earning good money, I couldn't get a mortgage and I wanted to buy property. And then when I looked at renting, there was nowhere to rent. So I was kind of faced with the prospect of turning 25. I don't know why 25 was the age, but there was something in my head about turning 25 and still being, you know, at home, living with my parents, who, by the way, are like my best fucking friends. They're so cool. We got on great all the years. Obviously, I was living there. We're more like best mates, but it's still that thing. You hit your mid-20s, you want your own space. And at home, just with the way that the housing market was and the economy, it wasn't feasible for me to do that. I had friends that were couples earning good money, and they were finding it really difficult to kind of move to that next step in life. I do also have a sister that lives here in Australia, and so I had that little bit of family connection, and I knew that over here it's a little bit easier to get that independence if you want it. So I just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna move here, and I'm here just over 3 months now, and I do not regret it at all. That Wolfie says, what is your favourite thing or things about Australia? By the way, I live in Australia as well. Well, hello, fellow Aussie. The first thing that popped into my head as soon as I read that question was snags from Bunnings. Holy shit, unbelievable. Who'd have thought that a hardware store sells fucking, you're not allowed to call them hot dogs according to the Aussies here, but that's what they are to me. But oh my God, yeah, they're amazing. I love snags. I love the weather. I love the people. Very diverse here. Um, I love where I live. Uh, I love that Aussies are quite like Irish people when it comes to drinking culture, so I really feel at home here. Um, there's lots of things that I love. I can't really. Uh, I love how blunt Aussies are. It reminds me a lot of people back home. People aren't afraid to tell you what they think, um, and that it's kind of that little home comfort. It's great to see it in another part of the world. There's loads of stuff I love about living here. But yeah. Daniel Gray says, can you move back to England? Daniel, fuck off. Meme says, who even are you? Who are you? So Thunder asks, what job have you got and what kind of place are you living in? So my job is, what I do is basically I manage asbestos removal projects. So I'm not going to obviously say who I work for or name the client that I do this project for or these projects for. um, or even where we do them. We do them in the state of Victoria. That's all I can say. So buildings that have asbestos that needs to be removed, I organise basically all of the project management side of that. Andrew says, "Am I the best mod named Andrew?" Yeah. DBNet says, "Do you have family in Australia?" Yes, I do. I have one sister, my brother-in-law, her husband, and a niece. So that's the family I have living here. My parents are still back in Ireland. Favorite swear word to say in Hindi? Like immediately Madarchod comes to mind because that's just always the first thing that comes to my mind, and it's what I very affectionately call Lewis. Um, yeah, probably Madarchod. Daniel Gray again says, "Am I your favorite?" I don't have any favorites. Adam the Cringe King says, "Can you make a scammer versus weed OS video?" I mean, I'll try it. Scrub Scented 7 says, "Where in Australia?" I'm in Melbourne. Ross Charlton says, "How old are you and what do you do as a job?" I have just turned 25 and I've already explained that I project manage asbestos removal. Rion says, "Do I..." I'm not reading that out. Rion, fuck off. Puffman asks, this is a good question, "Is this permanent or are you planning to come back to Europe someday?" And yeah, I also wonder why you went down under, but the question is already asked. First of all, I love how Americans call any, like, rather than name a country, they just call it Europe. Like everywhere is just, oh, it's Europe. I'm going to Europe. It's like, name the country you're going to. Anyway, is it permanent? I think it would be great if it was permanent. I love living here. I will wait and see what happens. There's kind of, you got to think about your visa and stuff like that. My visa isn't a permanent one right now, so I've got to wait and see. Hopefully it turns into one. Yeah, I would like to stay here permanently. With frequent visits back to Ireland once I'm settled properly. But yeah, permanent I would like it to be. And also wonder why you went down under. I've already answered that. But yeah, same answer. Killer Pods UK says, when did you decide to move to Australia and will you ever come back to Europe at all? I decided in mid-August and I moved about 8 weeks later, about 2 months later, I moved after I made the decision, which was the 10th of October. I left Ireland to come here. Will I ever move back to Europe at all? I don't know. I assume when you say Europe, I just think Ireland, obviously where I'm from. I'm not sure. I won't ever say never to like anything. Um, I'd never say never to anything, but I would like to stay here, is all I can say. Batty says, what do you miss most about where you lived before? The magic of Irish people is just something, until you've been in Ireland, anywhere in Ireland. I'm from Dublin, so I'll just pick Dublin City because that's where I'm from. There's something magical about being in Dublin in the morning or in the night time, and just being around the people, and there's a buzz about it that you just don't get anywhere else in the world. Some people will say that it's the crack, some people not drugs, crack, by the way, people. Just crack, CRAIC. Look it up. Some people say it might be just the people themselves. It's just the way that we are. There's just a magic about Ireland that you'll never experience anywhere else in the world, and the people. And I do miss that. And I miss my family, and I miss my friends, and that kind of stuff. All the usual stuff that you miss. There's some kind of food as well that I miss that you can't get over here, but I'll get into that another time. I fucking love memes says, introduce yourself. Where have you been? I introduced myself about 8 months ago. You're late. You're late to the party. Sam says, how much vodka do you drink before you're drunk? My record is 23 shots. I don't have a record because for some reason vodka doesn't get me that drunk. It's kind of like water to me, which is a bad thing, which is why I now drink wine. Tisley says, how long do you think it'll be to move into your new house and finish setting up? I have moved in already. I live in a 2-bed apartment by myself. I'm more or less set up. I've got the basics that I need. I work a lot, and then I like to go out in my spare time. So, yeah, I've got a nice little apartment. It's brand new, never been lived in. It's pretty nice. Some of the people on the server have seen it. It suits me, and yeah, great for parties. How can I get a promotion? Well, Sugar Boy, I think you're actually banned now. So, bye. Dogsy Tacos, how can you like English? Because it's the language I speak. Desktop Minion says, is there any reason for your move to Australia, and will you still feature in some of Lewis's videos? Well, the first part of that question, I've already explained that for back in the video. The second part of the question, well, Lewis is here. Lewis, would you like to answer that? Because I'm not going to answer that.
Streams and videos whenever you're available, of course.
There's your answer. He's a great husband. I love being in the streams. I've been in one since I moved here. The timing can be really difficult. I do miss being in streams, but I'm loving that Lewis has been doing streams on his own lately, because I've always known he's been super capable of it, and he smashes it every time he does it, and I'm super proud of him. I may feature in streams in the future. We'll try work something out. We're trying to work it out where it's nighttime for me, so that it's a drunk stream. But if push comes to shove, I am happy to open a bottle of wine at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning if I need to. So we'll see. Richie Kavanagh says, did you like Ireland? Yeah, loved it. It's the place I was born and I was raised, and I'll always love Ireland. There's not a lot that I could ever say that I hate about Ireland. But yeah, I just, you gotta do what you gotta do. I Love Tracksuits says, happy birthday. Thank you. I love tracksuits as well, so I really love your name. Daniel, are you going to buy Lewis's virginity? I didn't need to buy it. He gave it to me freely. And it was great. Joe says, don't cut the red wire. You're absolutely correct. Dated Rhyme says, tea or coffee? Coffee. Pineapple on pizza, your thoughts on this subject? Controversial as it is, I don't care what anyone says. Pineapple always on pizza for the win. And if you don't like pineapple on pizza, your taste buds are so narrow-minded. Literally, you need to get your taste buds woke. Derby Sherby asks, how did you meet Lewis's tech? By the way, happy birthday. Thank you. I met Lewis through initially one of his live streams. It's kind of a long story how we met, but long story short, through YouTube. Jim Browning asks, important one, is the Guinness any good? Jim, miss you lots. Hope you're well. Thank you for the question, an all-important question. Is the Guinness any good? Believe it or not, I haven't tried Guinness over here yet. Kind of afraid to, because for those that don't know, it is my old place of work. So I know what really good Guinness tastes like. I'm afraid to try it here. Justin, happy birthday, Amy, and we have like a 60-day streak now. Well, thank you, and no, we don't anymore because Snapchat totally shit itself and fucked up, and I'm sad about it. Jeff says, happy birthday, Amy, and remember, Black Lives Matter. It's very important to think about on a blessed day as this. Correct. There's someone next to you says, can I have a burrito? You can have two. Mstat is here, says, how do you feel about Australia's terrible internet? Oh, mate. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's all I can say. It's so bad. And it makes me feel sad. Cheesy Fries says, how you? Me good. Thanks. What's Australian internet like? Slow, fast? What about the railways? Been on them? Like I said, the Australian internet is so slow. It is going in reverse compared to what I'm used to. What about the railways? Been on them? Yeah, I've been on like metro trains. Sorry, will I have to repeat that? I'm out on my balcony. If anybody is wondering. Yeah, I've been on like the metro trains because I live in the metro area of Melbourne. I mean, they're fine. They're trains. It's not really a lot to tell you about them. They're quite roomy. Yeah, prefer trains to trams because less weirdos on trains. But yes, I have been on trains. How is Inventor69 Lel asks, how is Chloe from the technical department doing? Chloe from the technical department is doing great. Thank you for asking. DV Soft says, do you swear at people in general? If you do, in Hindi. The answer to that is, yeah, I swear like a lot. It's an Irish thing. We like to see it as sentence enhancing. Yeah, we curse a lot. And if I do in Hindi, yeah, I do actually curse a lot in Hindi in my everyday life, which being in Melbourne, it's a very multicultural city. And there's a lot of people from the likes of India and Pakistan and stuff here that live here, you know, have emigrated here. So really have to be careful about when I swear. And for those of you that don't know, my next door neighbour is actually Indian. And yeah, he's from Delhi. And he knows that I do this when I call people Madarchods. He thinks it's funny. So, you know, cool guy. Java says, good luck on the move to Aussie lands. Well, you were about 3 months late for that post, but yeah, thank you. Going well. My second Angelic says, hello, do you want to move to a Nordic country? Not particularly. It's never crossed my mind, and now that it has, no. Olem Rack says, sir. Okay. How did you join SSL? Fucking shut up. Who is that? Stupid Benchod. Shut up. Can you hear all that shouting in the background? How did you join SSL? I joined, well, how I joined was I got a link to it like everyone else does. I joined it through Lewis and Daryl, or Daz Has Gone Mad, as some of you will know. I knew them, like I said earlier, through YouTube, and that was how I joined. The next one I'm going to read, though, is good. Inventor69 Lel says, do you believe in the evil patriarchy? Triggered yet? The answer to that is the patriarchy is awful. I'm just joking. I don't buy into, like, for those of you who don't know or whatever, like, I just don't get offended at things. I've got like the thickest skin ever, which is probably why I'm such a fat bastard. I do not support the new wave of feminism or what it stands for now. It's all bullshit. Same with social justice warriors. I fucking hate them. And this bullshit about patriarchy.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing so well for myself if any of that shit existed. So it is all complete bullshit. And for people who want to tell me otherwise, I just can't take the argument seriously. I've worked in a male-dominated industry my entire life. I've always gotten on really well with all men that I've worked with. I've always been treated very well. I've never taken any shit. I've always been well respected. I've always been paid a proper salary in line with what somebody else with a dick would have, been paid for the same job. So I just can't buy into all of that, because I have lived and worked in an environment where feminists say it's right, and the complete opposite is true. It's total bullshit. All of it's bullshit. I don't buy into it. And yeah, if you get triggered over stuff like that, fuck off. Inventor 10 says, are you really Levis's wife? Yes, I am. And Davder says, do you love Levis, or did you marry him for his YouTube money? Neither. And Davder, I married him for his massive lunge. Oh wait, I actually replied that straight away after. Thunder Cunt says, Amy, are you lesbian? Absolutely not. Nico says, when will you get a new computer? I honestly don't fucking know. I have no idea. I keep saying I'm gonna get one. I got the money to get one, and then I decided to buy other things with it, and I've still got money there, but adulting means I like to keep it for something else. I don't know when I'm gonna get a new one. I got a pretty good work laptop, so, well, according to Lewis anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure. But old Betsy, she's still ticking. Inventor 69 Lel says, do you need a GoFundMe for a new computer? No, I do not. Please don't give me your money. And Abder says, do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do. And it's copy pasted into that channel. So on to Twitter now. And I used 2 hashtags. Don't know why, but yeah, sorry. So I'm going to kick off here. Adam Aharoni, I really hope I'm saying your name right, says to me and Lewis, do you love me? Hashtag A to the K. Yeah, I do. Why not? Lewis, do you love Adam?
Of course I do.
Okay. Daryl says, what were your best top 5 memorable moments of 2016? And he asked Lewis and me. So while I'm here, my top moments of 2016 probably would have had to have been wow, top moments of 2016, definitely going to the Disclosure gig in Kilmainham in Dublin. That was an amazing night. Finding Lewis and Daryl in the Discord server and this amazing community that I didn't know anything about before, April, I think, of last year, March of last year, and just the total roller coaster that's been. It's definitely been memorable. Moving to Australia, of course, has to be in there as a memorable moment. That's kind of what this Q&A is about. What else? Spending New Year's with my family, because we're all kind of all over the world, so that was nice. And my 5th and final memorable moment of 2016, top best memorable moment, what's number 5? What's my last one? Probably being single for the whole year, because it was just fucking great. Hashtag anti-commitment. So yeah, I'll hand over to Lewis now though for his top 5 moments. So here's a nice little Easter egg in this video for people watching, because Lewis is going to give you his top 5 memorable moments of 2016 now. Go ahead, Lewis.
Hard to say, really. Didn't expect to. I have to think about it, really, so they're not really that memorable. I had a pretty good year in 2016, to be fair. I mean, we got the SJW saying it was the worst year ever, but sorry, I'm going off topic. Probably you know, helping start this community on Discord and meeting Amy and everyone. You know, the same as what she said. I'm basically just being a Madarchod here, but being part of this community, having my YouTube channel go from something like 900 to 90,000 subs in 1 year, that was pretty memorable for me. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Caught my biggest fish in 2016. I don't even know what else. This is terrible. Oh god. I've given you
Such a
three.
hard question.
I've given you three.
Better than nothing, I suppose. Yeah, I forgot to actually throw one in there as well. You just reminded me. Of course, starting my YouTube channel, because I wouldn't even be recording this video if it wasn't for having a fucking YouTube channel. So I definitely have to throw that in there because, yeah, there's definitely been, I mean, I could probably throw in like live streams because they've always been pretty memorable for me. But yeah, that's definitely got to be in there with the memorabilia of 2016, getting a YouTube channel, and all under the encouragement of Lewis, who said, you know, there's a community waiting here to watch someone like you. You better set a channel up. And I hummed and hawed about it for quite a while, and then I decided, yeah, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. And it's one of the best things I've ever done because just the community and the, you know, interaction with people is literally, I mean, I'm kind of well known for responding to like every single YouTube comment that I get. And it's purely out of, I love to sit down, and it's weird to think that people, you know, have watched a video that I have, you know, been in, and then they're interacting with me about it afterwards. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's in there with the memorable moments. Stu C, who is such a cool guy. If you don't know him, you should follow him. He's so cool, Stu. He's been around from like day one, and I really appreciate it. Stu C says a couple of questions. One is, what did you do in your first week in Oz? And two, have you settled in good into your new life? That's the first part of that question. My first week in Australia, I ate a lamb burger that was absolutely bomb. It was so good. I applied for a job, interviewed, and got the job. Just the random shit, you know, book house inspections, and you know, get a SIM card, and all the boring stuff. Really, I landed on my feet pretty quickly, though, I will say that. Second part is, have you settled in good into your new life? Yeah, I mean, now I'm like 3.5 months in at the time of recording this. I feel very settled, and I feel very sort of at ease. And it kind of feels like it's always been this way, but I know definitely at the start when I moved here, and this is obviously good for anyone who's, you know, thinking of leaving their home country and moving anywhere else and setting up life. Yeah, don't get discouraged if you're kind of feeling like in the first couple of weeks, or even in the first 2 months, you know, you don't meet many people, or you don't feel like you're making friends easy, or you feel like all that responsible stuff you've got to do, like find somewhere to live and sign leases and pay bills and get a job and set up all the stuff like a bank account, and all that kind of stuff that sort of at the start just feels really overwhelming, because it's all got to be done as soon as you get there to be able to kind of progress any further. Don't get discouraged by that, because it's just one of those things that you've got to do. And I had, luckily, you know, I had my sister to help me with some of it, but you know, as many of you know, I moved here alone, and I live alone, and you know, I didn't have any friends here in Melbourne that I knew. So I was really kind of starting from scratch. You know, my sister's in a different phase of life. She's married with a kid. So it wasn't like I had someone to kind of be with me all the time. So I pretty much did it all by myself. But and it takes time to get settled in, but now I'm really settled. And I love it now. I love living here. I love my little kind of life that I've built for myself here. I have, you know, made friends, like real life friends, and you know, that all takes time, but it does happen. You just gotta kind of power through those first couple of tough weeks, you know. And for people who think it's all, you know, amazing, and because anytime anyone asks me, I do say I love living here and all that kind of stuff. But I'm, you know, my first weekend that I moved into my new place, you know, I sat on my floor in my apartment with, you know, no furniture, nowhere to sit. I bought a chest of drawers in IKEA, and I spent my weekend building a chest of drawers by myself with tools that I'd gone and bought myself. And, you know, I ate takeout food off the floor on a blanket, and that was, I literally started with like a mattress on the floor and no other furniture, and I just built everything up from that over the last, you know, 3 months. So you got to start somewhere. So if anybody has made that transition, is in the middle of it, or is about to do it, or is thinking about doing it, it's going to be tough. But yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world now. I've put a lot of work into it, and I am reaping the rewards. Okay, Scammer Sub Lounge, hey, asks, are we the best Discord server? Of course. Don't be so ridiculous. I have to say that because I'm one of the owners, but still, I do really love it in our crazy little community. Adam Aharoni, there you are again, asks, can you make a video of Scammer versus Weed OS? I mean, I don't know. Sean Kirk asks, why did you move? Do you like it in Australia? I think I've answered this previously. I moved for better career prospects and quicker career progression, and just because I, you know, just because I wanted to. Do you like it in Australia? Yes, I do. Despite the craziness that's been happening the past few weeks, which I touched on in the start of this video, um, yeah, I do love it. It's definitely like if you're from the city, but a small city, and then you move to a big city, you're like, oh, hey, I'm a city person. I like cities. And then you move to a really big city like Melbourne, you're like, fuck. The entire population of Melbourne is like the same as the entire population of Ireland, the country. So, yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but yeah, I love it here. Ashar asks, do you prefer extreme cold or extreme heat? So many people have asked me this, and it's a really hard question because I love hot weather, but I'm used to it when I'm going away on a holiday where I'm just in a bikini all day, and then I'm in like really light, flimsy dresses in the evening. You know, you go to like Spain or something. So I'm used to that kind of heat where you don't actually have to really, you're relaxing, you got your, you know, switch turned to like off. So you don't mind the hot weather. Whereas like here, it's extremely hotter, by like minimum 10 degrees. And you've got to be like going to work every day and doing stuff. Um, so yeah, I really did worry about adjusting to the weather, but it's like 37 degrees here Celsius one day, and I'll be like coming home from work in jeans and boots and a t-shirt. And honestly, I really thought I was going to struggle with the weather way more than I have, and thank God for aircon. But I do love cold. We're in the middle of summer here in Australia, but it's typically wintertime, you know, in the northern hemisphere, which I'm used to. And I love the whole association with Christmas and cold. I'm really used to it. I love my winter wardrobe way better than I love my summer wardrobe. Who wants to have to fucking shave their legs all the time? Not me. But that's TMI, I know, but I am a woman. I do like the cold because I like wrapping up in it. I like the whole social aspect of really cold. I know you think that's crazy, but well, in Ireland there is a whole social aspect to like the cold. Everybody just sits in a really nice warm pub and drinks. But I don't know if I can pick between the two. Um, I'd probably go for extreme cold because you can always put layers on, whereas in extreme heat, you're gonna feel that really bad, even if you're like totally naked. And you can't get any fucking, you know, less clothing than that. So I'd probably go for extreme cold because you can wrap up against that. And finally, bear.exe says, will you be getting a Nintendo Switch? No. So that's all my questions, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for asking. As usual, sorry, it's been like, you know, fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks between me asking you for your questions and answering your questions. Yeah, thanks everybody as always for the continued support and love and, you know, dealing with me in my crazy time zones, which is kind of nice because I've gotten to know people that I never really spoke to before because they were on opposite time zones to me. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, if you have any suggestions for any future videos, please leave them in the comments section. And for any of the haters watching this video, I missed y'all. Where y'all been all my life? So yeah, that's it really. Thanks for watching.